Back to another session with Minister Brown and Nothing But the Truth Ministry. Today we're going to go over another characteristics of Jesus. This is number 9, y'all. We're getting on down now. And this one is about self-control. Jesus had self-control. This is a very, very powerful tool. We thought patience was powerful. Man, this one, self-control, is a real powerful tool. We're going to talk about it today. I ain't going to keep y'all long. But before we get started, I want to thank God for, allowing us to be able to come together again in fellowship. I want to thank God for just, the opportunity to be able to be blessed, to make it throughout these nights and days of our lives. I just thank God for it all. And I just pray that he continue to be with us on our journey, learning more and more about his son, Jesus, the one that left the blueprint for us, y'all. He left all the blueprint that we need, the directions, the characteristics. He left everything that we need to be able to be successful in the walk with Jesus and to be more like him. If we more like Jesus, then we're going to be more like God. You hear me? So therefore, let's get it together. Let's do it and learn these characteristics of Jesus. There are so many characteristics, but I'm bringing 10 to the table. And if it's more that you want to add on later on that you can seek out, you can seek more for more. But I'm bringing 10 to the table, y'all. This is plenty of food to eat. And I hope you got your appetite together, because now we are dealing with self-control. Man. We went over compassionate. We went over Jesus was a servant. We went over Jesus was loving. Jesus was forgiving. Jesus was committed. Jesus was prayerful. Jesus was gentleness. He had gentleness. He was gentle. Jesus had patience. And now we're dealing with Jesus had self-control. How many of y'all have self-control? I mean, really, really think about it before you answer. How many of us really have self-control? Or do we let ourselves control us? How many of us do we ever think about it? Self-control. Before Jesus' ministry was really launched, Jesus spent time being tempted by the devil in the wilderness. Although he was often offered food, power, and many other things by the devil. He was offered these things. The devil tempted him with all these different things while he was in the wilderness after he finished fasting. And he was vulnerable. He was open. He was very ready to eat. I know that for a fact. But he was vulnerable. So the devil felt like this was a good time, because he felt like Jesus was weak. And this was a good time to try to sneak on in and try to get to him or get next to him. Or he tried to trick him. But little did he know, even though he offered him food, power, and many other things, Jesus controlled his desires and submitted them all to the will of the Father. Yes, he had desires for food. Yeah, you can best believe Jesus was hungry. For fasting for 40 days, that's a long time to go without food, y'all. Some of us won't even go a whole day without food before we be about to go crazy. But just imagine, he went 40 days without food. So he had desires for food and such, but he had a greater desire, and that was to obey the Lord and accomplish what he was set out to do. And by him doing this, by him being able to do this, he had to have self-control. Now, a lot of us be put in situations as well, just like Jesus. Be put in situations the devil always want to try. He always want to tempt you. He always want to test you. He always want to see what you about. If you really about this life of God, or you just one of them old play Christians. Or is you really a Christian, or are you being a Christian, or are you actually doing and living as a Christian should? So the devil gonna always try you. He gonna always tempt you. He gonna always find some kind of way to slide on in. He gonna bring it to you. He'll sit it right in your lap, and he'll point it right to you, so he'll make it look so good to you. Depending on what your desires be. See, he knows the weaknesses. He knows when you're weak, and he knows what your weaknesses may be. For some men, they be married, so they trying to stay committed in their marriage. They got their wife, they love them, they gentle with them, they're a servant to them, they forgive them, they all the characteristics that they're supposed to be. But here come the old devil, old Satan. He want to try you, so he'll always have something where you and your wife, you have disagreements or argument where he try to break up that old family, that good thing. So he like to come and divide. He like to have division. If he could get you to yourself, then he figure he got you. Well, he tried to catch Jesus by himself, so that he could try to tempt him and see what he could slide in on him. But Jesus had self-control. Now he showed Jesus the world. He showed him, look, if you bow down to me, you can have all this here. If you say who you are, then turn the stones into bread. You're hungry, you got the power. Go ahead and turn the stones into the bread. Let's eat. But Jesus ain't have nothing to prove to him. He ain't have nothing. He ain't have nothing for Jesus that he wanted. Jesus had self-control, and he beat him. He beat him with that word. He put that word on him, which is the sword. And the devil ain't have no choice but to get on down the road, because he ain't have no chance with him. So he had to go back to the drawing board and try to come up with something else to try to see what he could do on the next time. And that's what he does with us. You have to have self-control when it comes, because he gonna come. Don't think that you are devil resistant. Don't think that you have enough power and this and that the devil ain't gonna try you. Trust me, he coming to you. I don't care if you the mightiest of the mightiest. If he came to Jesus, trust me and know that he will come to you. You just got to know what to do when he come. And the number one thing is having self-control. Don't get bent all out of shape. Things start going wrong. Things start happening to you in life. Don't get all bent out of shape. Get in with your word, and get in with your prayer with God. Fast, do whatever you need to do, but get on the right track and have self-control. Don't lose your composure. Don't lose your mind. Don't lose your religion. Don't lose what God done he done spent all the time putting in you, getting you right, getting you together, for you to just lose it all because something else, something physical of this world, something done happened. No, that ain't how it go. So you don't do that. Have self-control. Men, the devil gonna tempt you with women. He gonna come at you in all kind of ways, especially if he know that's one of your weaknesses. People, he gonna come with you with food. He'll come at you. You see how he came at Jesus? He came with him food, power, all kind of things, man. Just he tempting him with all kind of. So don't think that you're exempt, and don't think that he ain't gonna come. Trust me, he gonna come with all type of. He try to find. He come and make it. I'm talking about make it look good to you. Yeah, if you go spend all your money doing this here, if you put all in, you do this here, and you go gamble, and you could win. He make it look good to you. And here you go chasing money, You got money, but steady want to chase money. You work hard for your money. Steady want to go chase another dollar and lose everything you done work hard for, and now you got to steady on the chase. You're chasing the wind. It don't make sense. I ain't never seen nobody could go out there and hug the wind. The wind blow and come right through your arms with no problem. You can't grab hold to the wind. That's just like money. You can't take this stuff with you, y'all. The devil will make it look good. Oh, you could go and take this and flip that and make this happen. And trust me, I'm a living witness of it. He'll make it look good to you. He'll come at you in all kind of ways. All the weaknesses that you thought you had as strengths, he will come at you. But if you got self-control, if you able to have self-control, that means staying on task with God, standing on your foundation, then you can beat him, and you can resist him, and he will flee from you. Now that's word. You can resist him, and he will flee from you. Don't fall into the temptations of the things that he have for you. I'm telling you, he'll make it look good. Even jobs, you're already doing good on one job, and here it is, another opportunity come up, and now they pay you a little bit more. They pay you a little $1.50. Come on, man. You're doing good at one job, and you're doing what you're supposed to do. But because this job here offer you $1.50 more, that's more money that they gonna tax you on that you ain't even really gonna make. You ain't gonna never see, because they gonna take that from you anyway. But now you want to risk all that you done built at this one job to go get $1.50 more. Come on, y'all. Self-control. Trust me, it ain't self-control. You got to have self-control in order. This is the characteristics of Jesus, in order to be able to beat the temptations of the devil. Women, he gonna bring men that look 17 times better than your husband, 17 times stronger than your husband, 17 times he can cook better, he can look better, he smell better, everything. He look at all, he gorgeous to you. But he ain't your husband. He'll say he got all the right words to say for you. He got all the right things he could do for you. But he ain't your husband. Temptation. Have that self-control. It ain't worth it. It ain't worth you tearing up it ain't worth you tearing up your relationship with God for a lust of the eye, or the lust of the flesh, or the pride of this life. Self-control. You can beat the lust of the flesh, you can beat the lust of the eyes, and you can beat the pride of this life if you have self-control. It'll help you with building your patience. It'll help you with building love. It'll help you being a good servant. It'll help you with forgiving. It'll help you with being compassionate. All these are characteristics that equal up all into one person. That's Jesus. These are all characteristics of Jesus. It'll help you with your praying. You know, if a person ain't got self-control, they can't even pray right. And if you can't pray right, then your conversation with God is nothing. If you can't have self-control to have your mind just focus on God and him and talking with him and dealing with him and working with him, your prayers, it can't be heard, man. You too busy, you don't have a meaningful prayer. You got an out of whack prayer. I don't even know what kind of prayer it is, to be honest. But if you don't have self-control, you can't even pray to your God right. And and listen, trust me, that is not pleasing to God. You got to have self-control when you conversate with him. You talk with him, you better have self-control. Because your mind and your body, everything should be focused on God when you talking with him. If you thinking about Facebook and all your social medias, while you too busy trying to make sure that your followers following you, but you trying to put on a show all at once while you trying to pray and talk to God, you are not pleasing in his eyes. And your prayers they'll go unheard. Trust me, they'll go unheard. And you wonder why it's taking so long for God to answer you back. Self-control is a mean tool, y'all. Y'all put it to work. Y'all put it to use. And trust me, it'll build you with all these different characteristics all in one. Self-control. You can't have anger and all these different things affecting you with lack of self-control. You got to have self-control because people gonna say things, people gonna talk about you. It don't mean you have to respond. People gonna have something to say always. That's what they are here for. That's what God blessed them with a mouth for. They gonna always have something to say. You don't always have to say something back. Self-control. People gonna always hate. Everybody ain't gonna like everything that you're doing. People gonna always have something to say. Have that self-control. You don't have to respond. You can just continue to pray for them and love them. Be forgiving. Because self-control helps you with all that. Loving, forgiving, compassionate, all the different characteristics of Jesus. Prayerful, gentleness, self-control. You can't, if you don't have self-control, you can't be gentle to no one. All you gonna ever be is rough. You can't hold a bird and you ain't been killed because you're too rough with gentleness. Self-control, y'all. Concentrate on your self-control. If you got self-control, you can become a very powerful person. And if you add all these characteristics of Jesus in your life, this will bring you closer to God and become more like his son. And man, you can't go wrong with that. You can't go wrong with these characteristics, y'all. These are very powerful tools to use. And I pray that someone got something out of this today. And y'all continue to be blessed, safe, and continue to use these tools, y'all. These characteristics of Jesus. If you could add each one of these together, there's plenty of them. But I brought only 10 to the table. But if you could add all these into your everyday life, your everyday living, you become more like the Father. And boy, look here. There's nothing like being like the Father. You hear me? You can't go wrong this way. This is a place, this is a way that you can't go wrong with. And I thank God for the opportunity. Y'all continue to be blessed. May God continue to bless y'all and keep y'all safe. And we always praying with you and praying for you. In Jesus' mighty name, until the next time. In Jesus' mighty name we pray. I thank y'all. And y'all continue to have that self-control. Continue to put these characteristics of Jesus to play. Amen. Amen.